Amazing. So, hey everyone, welcome to the new exciting Nova Wallet demo number 28. And we have lots of things to discuss today. So let's begin. And just a couple of seconds to arrange the windows. All right. So today we have a pretty much, I would say, concise agenda. So we're going to discuss our recent releases, which deliver the ERC-20 token support, as well as variety and numerous of the fixes. Then we're going to talk about our recent new Polkadot Treasury proposal, as well as the roadmap updates. So let's begin. While we're waiting for others, please feel free to scan the QR code or press the button to get all social media links for the Nova, and join our community to see the recordings of such demos, including the slides in the descriptions. And let's begin. So first topic would be to review the recent releases. So recent releases were focused around two main themes, I would say. So first one would be the ERC-20 token support, and we're going to see the all features on the demo. And the second group would be the fixes and improvements. So let's start with the ERC-20 tokens demo. So first point is the basic support of balances, sending, receiving, and seeing the history. So basically the support of the tokens themselves. So let's check it out. Let me open the emulator that I have here. And now if you will see the Moonbeam and Moonriver networks, you basically will find out that there are much more tokens supported by the Moonbeam and Moonriver, because now we support not only the substrate-based tokens, but also the EVM one, which are ERC-20. So if I will go here and I will disable the hide asset zero balances feature, you will see how much more we added the default tokens for Moonbeam and Moonriver. And it's kind of interesting because there are around 10,000 tokens, ERC-20 tokens on both Moonbeam and Moonriver, and we're trying to whitelist the most, let's say, used ones. But if you feel that your token, if you're a creator of the token or the community member of the certain project, please let us know so that we can add it by the default to the Nova, so that all users can see it by the default. And if you want to add your token, which is, let's say, brand new, then you would be interested in the third feature here on our demo, which I will display a bit later. But let's first see how the ERC-20 tokens work. So one of the examples of the ERC-20 tokens would be Glint, which is Beam swap token, sorry. And if I go here, I can basically see my balances, the locked and transferable part, as well as the history. So I can try to send the token as well. So if I go to the send, I can enter one of my wallets. Let's say, let's enter the wallet with the no wallet name, and I can enter any amount. Let's try to send one Glint token. And then let's hit the continue. I can review my transfer. And as soon as I press the confirm, let's see how the transfer will go. So we see the balance on this wallet, and we already see it in the transaction history. This is done locally. So as soon as I press the send token, basically it's stored locally and it will be updated as soon as the transfer will be confirmed. So we can go to we already see that the balances are already updated for this token, as well as in the operation history, you can see that it was confirmed. So if I go here in the details, we can see that the details of this operation, as well as that we can go to the subscan and moonscan to see this transaction. But let's go also to check the wallet to which I have sent, which is that one. And let's find the Moonbeam network here and try to see the balances. Yes, I can see the Glint one. And if I go here, I can see it in transaction history. So that allows you to now manage your ERC-20 tokens. You can send, receive, and see the operation history, as well as balances and fiat values. So now it's fully supported for the Moonbeam and Moonriver networks. Now, let's talk about another feature, which is toggleable tokens and the balances. Just because we have increased by a lot the even default amount of the tokens that Nova supports, now there is a need for the users to customize and manage their tokens. So for example, they would like to basically disable or enable certain token, and they can easily do it by using this button with the tokens, with the manage tokens, right? And what I can do here, I can customize any my token in Nova. So for example, I can even customize the Kusama token. So not only the ERC-20 tokens are the subject for the toggable balances, but all of the tokens. So if I press here, I would be able to disable or enable the Kusama token, the KSM token on any network that Nova supports. And you can see that that's pretty much a lot. So if I will remove it for the certain networks, you can see that now KSM will be supported only on Kusama plus 11 networks, and that will be reflected across all the application. And I can also disable it at all. So there will be no KSM token supported now in Nova. You will also technically will increase the performance, or you will basically remove connection to the Kusama network in this case, in case of if it's like the main token of the network. But anyway, I don't want to do so. But if I want to hide any of these default tokens, which we as the developers just added to be default for the ERC-20, let's say, remember we just added the glint and did the transfer, we can disable it at all. And what will happen if I will try to find the glint token, let's switch to this wallet, I cannot see it anymore. Right? I know that I have balance, but I decided to hide it for some reason. Another use case is basically some of the users had a dust balances for the tokens, so that that comes handy for them to hide these assets away. So that's about toggable tokens and the balances. The third feature in this direction is to add custom ERC-20 token. As I mentioned earlier, that's basically is covering a use case if you're a community member or if you're the token creator, right? And you don't want to Nova Wallet team to wait until the Nova Wallet team will add your token as a default, for example, but you just want to use Nova Wallet for your ERC-20 token management. So what you're going to do? You're going to go to the manage tokens, and here on the top right corner, you have the add token, which is pretty much common UX for the Ethereum wallets, the one which usually handling the ERC-20 token. So if I go to the add token, first I need to specify the network, because ERC-20 tokens exist in multiple networks. For now, Nova supports them on the Moonbeam and Moonriver, and later on we're going to expand this list, right? But let's try to add the token on the Moonbeam. And personally, I don't have this information right now, but if we will go to the subscan, for example, on the Moonbeam, we can see that there are plenty of the ERC-20 tokens, almost 4,000. So we can go and cherry pick any of them, basically, right? So the only information we need is basically the contract address, which is that one, right? So let's try to find some specific token, let's say, which Nova Wallet is still not knowing. Yeah, let's try to do this NFT hello. That's some random token that I saw. And if I go here, I just need to grab the contact address of this token. So here it is. I just entered the copy button, and let me add it to the Nova Wallet. All right, I just pasted. The Nova fetched from the blockchain the information about the symbol, which is NFT hello. It couldn't fetch the decimals, but let's assume that, well, let's not assume. Let's see it on the subscan. It says that 0. And for the CoinGecko link or for the price, you can basically paste it if your token has one. So that token doesn't have anything, so we will not do this. So as soon as we press the add token, we should see on the Moonbeam now our NFT hello. Here it is. So now Nova supports this token that I just added. So if I have any balances, that will be seen, the operation history will be seen, so everything will be covered. So this is how you can add any ERC-20 token for now for the Moonbeam and Moonriver, and later on we're going to expand this list. All right, I think that sums up our ERC-20 part of the version 5 releases. Just a couple words to mention. The version 5 release and the ERC-20 support is part of the Moonbeam Treasury proposals and was the first group of the features that we would like to deliver to the Moonbeam community. And you can see our roadmap. Let me show it on the slide, that this is done, right? So potentially Nova supports 10,000 plus tokens more on the Moonbeam and Moonriver combined. And now what we see further as improvements for the Moonbeam community is basically extend support of the NFTs, which are ERC-721 and ERC-1155, right? So we will support NFTs now on the EVM networks. As well as we would like to support the hardware wallets, like a party signer and the ledger for the Moonbeam and Moonriver networks and other EVM networks. And in addition to this, we would like to get aligned with recent updates for the staking. For example, if you didn't know, but Moonbeam and Moonriver recently provided an option for after compounding your rewards. So we would like to have this supported in Nova as well, right? And there are multiple of other improvements, like adding custom EVM network, customizing your gas fees, and a bunch of them. So we would like to see how the Moonbeam community will accept our work with ERC-20 tokens and apply for the next treasury proposal to receive the funding for these or any other features which Moonbeam community would like to see in Nova. But let's go back to the other features that we delivered in the version 5 releases, and those can be considered as fixes and improvements. I will not go and show the demo itself, because those are basically some improvements and fixes basically. So what we have here, we have fixed the OpenGov referendums, because basically if you went to the DApp for the governance version 1, they were not correctly linked with their the copies in this DApp and the copies that which was existing on the blockchain. So now it works smoothly for the governance version 1 networks. Also, we have fixed the Aleph 0 staking rewards calculation, because they recently updated the way how it's done on their network, right? So we have provided this. For a moment, you could see the 10,000 of the APRs. We're really sorry, but that was not true. But yeah, that was fixed. The third one, we have adapted to the new runtime for the cross-chain transfers on Moonbeam and Moonriver. So these changes, I think they're coming pretty much soon, and Nova is already prepared for it. The fourth one is that users can now stake the tokens which are locked into governance investing. That was kind of interesting one as soon as we released the governance. And if you as a user haven't staked any tokens, but you went and voted with your tokens in the governance, you actually can reuse these tokens in the staking, but Nova just didn't know that you can do so, right? So we have introduced this fix. So now you can stake the tokens which are located in the governance on or the Wasteland or basically other locks that supports the staking in addition to the lock. So fifth one is that we have fixed the crash on the governance version 1 screen due to how the votes were assigned to the cancelled referendum. I'm sorry. The sixth one was that we adapted to the new runtime for the OpenGov and the new states, which are currently available on the Kusama. So that's also done. The OpenGov parameters has been adjusted, not only with the values, but also with the structure. So the Nova Wallet now knows about it. And the last one is that we have fixed the transaction history in some cases in which the transaction history API was the only one external API. So in this case, Nova couldn't be able to show the transaction history, but now it will. So those are the fixes that we delivered in addition to the ERC-20 tokens in our version 5 and other releases. So feel free to update your app and always make sure that your app is updated. So let's go further. First, Polkadot Treasury proposal. So let's see it on the Polka assembly. Let me switch it. By the way, you can write the questions and the comments in the chat, and we are going to cover them in the end of the presentation. But anyways, you can find our proposal right now submitted for discussions. We're planning to submit it on chain next week, since it's almost, I think it's more than 1 week now in the discussion phase. So it's time for the vote itself. But anyways, this proposal will be focused on OpenGov agile delegations, staking improvements, and community request features. So let's go and see them one by one. You can find it on Polka assembly discussion phase to get more the details, but we will focus around the feature scope itself. So for that, I will go and see this table. And first and the biggest feature set is agile delegations. So in the previous version of the governance, which is governance version 1, you could also delegate your votes to somebody else's account so that that account can utilize your votes in their favor, right? So we would like to provide this feature as well for the OpenGov. Well, we will provide it for the OpenGov specifically, and that will allow you to create the delegation, view your delegations, and remove your delegation. So that's the basic setup of the features here, right? So that will allow you to basically create the delegation, view all the delegations you created, and cancel them if you wanted. But we also wanted to go further, because that would be a feature which new users who are not really familiar with governance, they will not know, let's say, to whom they would like to delegate and would they like to delegate at all, right? So we need to show the value, right? And what our team has came up with is basically the following features below. So view what your delegations have voted for is providing you more transparency. So as soon as you have delegated your votes, you can track and you can see how this person or this company is using your votes. So you can see, are you agreeing with their direction in the OpenGov, or you see the contradictions with your opinions, right? And you need to cancel and you need to revoke this delegation and delegate to somebody else. So this provides a more transparency for your votes delegation. The next one is a really interesting one. So view list of accounts for delegation, including accounts of verified individuals and organizations. So how it will look like is that, and what problems it's going to solve is basically the one that I mentioned before. So users who are not familiar with governance and delegations, they do not know the value, right? They do not know to whom they would like or would they even want to delegate, right? And that feature might provide the opportunity to, let's say, attract delegations for the individuals or organizations. So by default, the Nova will show in some sort of the list the popular accounts for the delegation, so that the ones that already have some delegations to them, how much tokens they have aggregated from delegations, how many accounts delegated to them, and so on. But what we're going to do in addition to this, because that cannot be easily fetched from the blockchain, we will open, let's say, the verified individuals and organization on our GitHub, and you can visit it, submit the pull request, sign it with your account so that you can verify that you are the owner of the account to which you're going to add some information like the profile picture, the description, why would people want to delegate to you, like your motivation in the open governance. Maybe you will provide some incentives for the people who are delegating to you. So that opens some game theory behind this. So that all of that will cover this scenario of users to kind of be more interested in the governance, because governance is, especially the OpenGov, right? It became like a daily activity because there are now lots of referendums available for the voting, and not anyone have enough time to participate in on a daily basis. But those people who would like to attract the delegations, and if they can provide you the meaningful reason or any like a bonuses or motivations for you to delegate to them, that would be really interesting for you as a user to delegate to them, right? So let us know what you think about this. And the last one is just the user interface thing, because right now we have this locked button basically on the governance screen. Let me show it to you. And instead of locked, you will see the manage, in which you can see the locked tokens, the delegation features, and all this future features that we are going to add into the governance. So let's see what we have else here. So staking improvements, basically they are around the thing which are happening on the Polkadot right now, related to the minimal stake. So there is a technical minimal stake of 100 DOT. Previously it was a 10 DOT, right? Recently it was increased to the 100 DOT, and the actual minimal stake, which is 200 something DOT, and it's basically increasing, or it's better to say it's changing daily basis depending on how many nominators and validators available, right? But this is constantly changing, and what Nova will tell you now, if you're going to stake something closer to this amount, Nova will warn you that, hey, you are really close to this real minimum stake, so it can be really tricky for you to stake this because you might be not active every day. Your stake might not be active on a daily basis, therefore you will not receive the daily rewards. So that will increase the awareness of the users for this particular state of the staking on the Polkadot, right? That being said, there is a solution for it already developed and delivered on the Polkadot, which are the nomination pools. So you can use the nomination pools from Nova, and you can stake from, I believe, like 1 DOT, right? So Nova will also suggest you to use the nomination pools. In this case, if you are staking something, if you are planning to stake something close to the this minimal stake amount. And the backlist query support is something also relative to this. So sometimes the network allocates you as a nominator to something called the backlist, and you need to execute a call on the chain so that you exit this query and your stake will become active again. That is also happening because of this, because of the staking around the minimal amount. And right now, the users just cannot see that they need to do so, right? And now we will have a specific alert for the user to press the button so that they can exit this backlist query. The next section is community selected features. One of the top requested features being to our DApp browser. So some of the DApps, like you can consider Akala, Mangata, and other DApps, they do not have the mobile interface support, or the user interface is not mobile friendly. Therefore, we would like to provide a feature to basically enter the desktop resolution on your mobile. So Nova will show you exactly how the website will look like if you open it on your computer, right? Therefore, you would be able to use this DApp, even if it doesn't have any mobile specific resolution. So that should allow user to really visit all the DApps, even if they're not mobile friendly. The next two features are basically focused on the security UX improvements. First is that we're going to lock the Nova wallet by the PIN code or by the Face ID if you have been in idle for 3 minutes. So if the Nova was not used for 3 minutes, or it was in the background for 3 minutes, then you will need, you as user, you will need to enter your PIN code once again. And the other one is just as soon as you minimize the Nova, instead of the content, which can be really sensitive, which can contain the sensitive information, you will see now the splash screen, right? So if somebody takes your phone, they minimize all the application, and Nova is one of them, they will just see the splash screen. And if they would like to see what Nova Wallet is, they will be asked for the PIN code because it probably was not active for 3 minutes. So yeah, those are pretty much the usual security UX features. We would like to have them in Nova as well. And the last but not the least is notification about the major and the critical updates. And what we have discovered, some of the users have the versions of Nova Wallet which are 9 months ago released. So we would like to address the situation in the future, and in one of the next updates, Nova will basically notify people that are there any update with some major feature available, or are there any critical updates available, right? So for example, you can see this fixes that we provided recently for the governance, right? The crashes on the governance, the Aleph Zero staking rewards. So some of these features are really, let's say, critical, right? And we would like Nova to show users this information so that users can always be aware of these updates, right? We are not going to lock user from entering Nova because well, they might be having not the best internet connection at this moment so that they cannot update it right now, or maybe they just need to have access to their seed phrases, right? And they don't care about the transfers at this moment, which are broken because of some of the update. So we would like to make it as a warning, so you can always skip it, right? But you will be aware that there is a new update and potentially it's a critical one, right? And the last but not the least, again, we have provided more features that we initially planned for the governance. To be specific, we added support for the governance version 1, which has something like a 25 networks plus, including the existing Polkadot setup and other networks, right? And we also provided the feature for unlocking your tokens in both governance version 1 and OpenGov, because we just understood that if we're going to release the governance according to the proposal that we had, then our users will be stuck with their locked tokens in the governance, right? So we understood that we cannot release it. We cannot release governance without unlocked tokens. So this is also under discussion because these are the features which make sense, but we have not received the funding or we not asked funding before. So this is kind of like reimbursement for the delivered features for the governance. So that's it. That is relatively shorter proposal compared to our previous ones, right? But we would like to proceed with this because we see the huge need in these features, including the OpenGov and the community requested features. And then towards the next ones, you can expect us to request funding for other features, such as nomination pools, for example, which are requested a lot. So let's go back to our slides because we have just one small section to be covered, which is the roadmap. So for the roadmap, you can see that we basically delivered the Moonbeam Treasury grant, which is ERC-20 token support. We did updated the branding on our previous demo and we showcased it. And let's see what else right now in the pipeline. So in the pipeline, we have the Polkadot Treasury proposal, right, which we just went through. And also other proposals, specifically the milestone second of Moonbeam Treasury grants. So most likely that will be custom EVM network support and the NFTs, right? But we will see what Moonbeam community will tell us as a feedback. And also the subquery grant, which is focused on basically the cross-chain transfer history support. So we're working closely with the subquery team on developing and delivering this solution. And that would be it. So let us know if you would like some feature to be developed and delivered by us. So you can submit your feature request on our kenny.io, nowallet.kenny.io, or you can just use it on the slides in this button, right? You can just press it like that. And you can submit and vote and discuss any features. And I think that would be it. So let's build together. And thank you for participating on the demo. Let me see the chat if there are any questions. Ledger support for Moonbeam. Yes, this is coming. So let me show you the screen. So that is on our list to provide the support for the EVM networks on hardware wallets, such as Party Signer and the Ledger. So Moonbeam is in this direction for our next grants to the Moonbeam. Simple delegation UI for OpenGov is so desperately needed. Yes, I agree. That's nice. It recommends the nomination pools. Many people have no clue about them. Yeah, we have a nice video on the YouTube, how we can stake it. I think it's like 2 minutes or 3 minutes long, so anyone can see it on our YouTube. Will there be support for governance on other parachains? Yes, this is planned. And the recordings of previous talks are available on YouTube. Yes, yes, they are. So if you will open our link tree, or if you just go to the YouTube, you can find Nova Wallet there, and you can see all of our videos, all of our demos here, including the slides that we showcasing on such demos. All right, yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, I wish you happy Friday as well. And it was a pleasure to show you our newest features for the Nova, and see you in 2 weeks. Cheers.